That's so fun, that's so fun. Got my mini skirt and my rollerblades on. Back on my side cause I'm out till dawn. Keeping it like silk chiffon.
Wow. All right. What's the name of that song?
It's called Silk Chiffon by Muna and Phoebe Bridgers.
All right. I'm envisioning you in a miniskirt and some roller skates. Hey, everybody.
That's for the private website.
Welcome to another episode of the Customer Engagement Lab. We are your hosts, Travis Tyler and Patrick Miniskirt Roller Skates Downs. Before we start today's episode, I wanted to take a moment to be mindful of the things in our lives that are going pretty well. Because we tried recording this episode once already, and I forgot to turn the microphone on. So that wasn't going well. But you know what is going well? I'm not sick. I don't have COVID. Yeah. I got a negative test result back 2 days ago. I couldn't breathe this past weekend. Just got hit with a really bad cold. And now I'm very thankful that I'm not sick. What are you thankful for?
When I was 8 years old, I did an ollie. And a lot of people in their lives never do an ollie.
An ollie on a skateboard?
Yeah. Just barely, too. And it took me weeks. I said that in front of Pal, and he went, "No, you didn't."
Oh, man. So our head of sales just couldn't believe that you ever...
No.
No fucking way you ever did that. Dude, there is so much to jump into today. So much to unpack. We already unpacked it once, but we're going to unpack it again with the sound working correctly.
Wait, one thing.
Okay.
This episode is going to be even more refined than it was because we've already done it. So you're going to get like draft 2
for sure. Yeah.
And there's like a manic energy right now. That we have.
Really is a manic energy, dude. There is an absolute manic energy in here. All right. So you brought to my attention a term that I was not familiar with, but that is really, really effective in sales. And it's called strip lining. That's what you call it. Sandler and his team call it stripping line. But in your definition, what is strip lining? What is stripping line? And how can salespeople use it?
Yeah, stripping line is like a takeaway, as some people call it. If somebody comes to you with a positive or a negative take, instead of pushing against them, you put your line out and you go with them. You agree and you give them an option to either leave the conversation or to go a different route. Let's
give an example with me coming to you, and I'm trying to buy a really stupid product. Let's see what's here. I want to buy a Zen Garden litter box, and I'll pull it up here on the screen. It is a miniature desk Zen Garden with
is really dumb.
With cats and their poops, fake poops.
Okay.
All right, so it's just a dumb product that we found on Amazon.
Okay.
And I'm coming to you, and I see that it's $9.95, and I'm saying, Patrick, I really like this Zen Garden litter box, but I found another Zen Garden litter box that also it's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. And is there anything you can do?
Well, Travis, it sounds like you've made up your mind, and the bigger Zen Garden poopy kitty thing on your desk would be a better fit for you. So
yeah,
why didn't you go with them?
They didn't even get back to me. You're the only salesperson that was willing to talk with me about the Zen Garden litter box.
Yeah, that's strip lining. So it's getting you to talk about the real problem and not like the smoke screen of I want a better price.
So in this case, it was just like I just wanted somebody to help hold my hand and talk with, make sure I'm making a good decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Make me feel better about my Zen Garden litter box purchase.
And I want to make sure there's a reason you would even want to buy from me. Because if I said, why didn't you just go with them? And you were like, I will. Then I'm like, all right, cool. Then why would I even negotiate with you? You're probably just going to take my offer back and then try to get a better deal from the one you really want to go with.
So I went on to the Sandler Sales Training website, which I know you're a big fan of Sandler training. And they had a blog article called The Neglected Art of Stripping Line. And I was just curious about, like, where does this term come from? And this is what they wrote. This is a powerful technique you can use to get clarity on what's really happening in the buyer's world. Stripping line is a trick familiar to experienced anglers. Novice fishermen, when they feel a fish nibbling on their bait, try to set the hook by yanking the line. They usually end up with an empty hook, no fish, because the fish was only nibbling. It hadn't swallowed the bait. That strategy is analogous to attempting to close a prospect at the first sign of interest or enthusiasm. An experienced fisherman knows that they'll have a better chance of hooking the fish if they do the opposite of what their first instinct tells them to do. They strip some line from the reel and create some slack. The fish pulls the bait deeper into the water, feeling more secure, swallows it and the hook, then setting the hook is easy. It only takes a slight tug on the line. This got me thinking about stripping line or stripped lining, however you want to call it, in other contexts, like in marketing and in CS. And I have a TikTok for you. Now, I'm not sure if this is stripping line in a CS context, but it kind of made me think about it. So here's the TikTok. It's when you forget your bags. Here's the TikTok.
Okay, great. Your total's going to be $28.33, and if you want to pass over your reusable bags, so
I actually forgot my reusable bags. Do you have any I'll grab the single-use plastic ones.
they're 50 cents.
That's fine.
Attention all customer service representatives. I need some single-use bags to the front for a customer who fucking hates the earth. Thank you.
I don't hate the earth. Why did you just...
What?
What do you mean, what? What? Why are you doing that? I don't hate the earth.
You don't hate the earth.
What are you doing?
He sees you doing this.
Wait, this guy doesn't have any bags?
Dude.
No.
Now I have bags.
So he's bagless?
No bags.
You're a man without bags?
He forgot them.
Oh, so you're lying.
You know.
Yeah, I forgot my bags. You never forgot your bags before?
Literally, no one's done that.
He hates the
I
earth.
think earth is great.
You don't care if baby birds get covered in oil.
What are you talking?
Do you have a problem with women, sir?
I don't.
Because it seems like you hate Mother Nature.
You hate women?
I believe women.
Tell me you hate women without saying you hate women. You don't bring bags.
Okay, great. Your total's going to be...
So yeah. Is that strip lining in CS?
No.
That's just customer shaming, right?
That's shame, but it's also very funny.
All right, so moving on to our next segment here. Let's see. If you're not familiar with the popular Nickelodeon's children's show Blue's Clues, then you can just skip this segment. But if you want to get a masterclass in how to market with empathy, then stay close to your dials. I believe you said in our first round of doing this, good job strip lining the audience, Travis. Don't
That
watch
was what I
this.
said.
Just don't even watch it.
That's a
Don't
great strip
even
line.
watch it. You don't want to watch it.
It's like
I'm gonna watch it, all right. I'm gonna watch it.
it's anti-marketing. When they had to steal this book, and then the band, I forget the name of the band, they did steal this album. So it's just like a way to market with reverse psychology, pretty much. What's the name of the System of a Down did steal this album.
The only thing I know about System of a Down is Chop Suey.
Down, 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 down. Chop Suey. It's like Serge Tankian is in the booth.
I found this article on Adweek talking about Blue's Clues just gave us a masterclass in empathy marketing. And I'm going to go ahead and play the video that they put out commemorating their 25 years of Blue's Clues.
Just one of those Blue's Clues.
Hi. You got a second? Okay. You remember how when we were younger we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt, freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news.
So, do you remember there was like an event in Blue's Clues where the Salt and Pepper had a baby, and the baby was Paprika?
Yeah.
There was like a huge build-up to it. There was like commercials where they're like, "Baby Paprika is coming."
I don't remember that marketing at all.
I remember it so clearly, and they were like, every day there was a new episode, and like the the mom got closer to giving birth to like baby
Really?
Paprika, and then eventually there's just a tiny little bottle of paprika. And it's like, hello.
Was
and
it
then the
French?
baby-
They were French.
Yeah, they were
Yes?
French.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Salt and Pepper. But I just thought that was so weird that they showed up to the pepper thing give birth.
They didn't show it.
It's not like a medical
No, it just like
showing,
popped up. It
Yeah.
was just there all of a sudden.
but just the concept of like a kid show where it's like these inanimate objects are giving birth. Super weird.
Not the lesson in empathy marketing we were hoping for, but here's the mail, it never fails. Makes you wanna wag your tail. Mail!
I just want to watch Blue's Clues now. All right, let's keep watching.
News. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt. I just kind of got up and went to college. And that was really challenging, by the way, but great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time. And now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do. And then look at you and look at all you have done and all you
You've done a lot. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. You too.
have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues and now it's what? Student loans and jobs and families. And some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. And in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you,
Oh.
ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening.
Is that sign language at the end?
It is.
You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
Oh, Nickelodeon.
That's thank you in sign language.
I had a feeling. Okay. So yeah, just run down some of the things that Pat Timmons from Adweek wrote about how this is a masterclass in empathy. Nickelodeon met us where we were. Steve literally asked if he could talk to us and if we had a second to spare. And he did that typical Blue's Clues kind of interactive video that's popular with children's shows that I think they popularized, which is like pausing for you at home to respond to your TV and make it interactive and engaging. And he asked us, like, do you want to opt in, learn more about what he has to say? And I think that reminds me a little bit of what we've talked about on the show before with Jason Bay about asking for permission on a cold call. Then they say it helped us visualize a moment. He talks about amazing things, but also about negative things, like when he left us all behind with his brother. Joe, to go to college, he owns the negatives and positives, and he addresses them. He asks our permission. He made it about us. When he says, like, we started out with clues, and now what? Student loans, jobs, and families, and some of it has been kind of hard, you know. I know you know, talking about an emotional roller coaster and expressed gratitude. And then he ended with humor and a compliment. What do you think are some takeaways, Patrick, for marketing teams, sales teams, on why this was so effective? Because, like, I can tell you, everybody I know was like blowing up about this on social media. It was everywhere, and they tapped into the virality of having a 2-minute short clip, of tapping into nostalgic marketing. Right? It's something that you and I, when we were kids, loved, and now we have money to spend as millennials, so we're gonna give it to our kids and our nephews and nieces and family members. So, why did this resonate with you, and what do you think they tapped into here?
Yeah, I think your point about being the right time is the biggest thing, because like you said, people our age have kids, they have money to spend, the millennials are growing up. Like, we're closer to the age Steve was when he started than not, right?
Yeah.
Also, I think things go viral because people want to share them with people they care about and talk about it.
Yeah.
And this is a really easy, like, starting point. Like nobody shares something and hopes that it just goes out in the void and nobody notices or responds.
No marketer ever
Yeah.
has that intention behind.
No, or even person like a random person sharing it, right? Like if
Yeah.
you posted content and somebody shared it, it's because they want to start a conversation around it. And I think that's the number one thing people that post content should keep in mind. Like if I post this, will someone want to go to someone else with it and then say, hey, what do you think about this? Like if it doesn't inspire that, it's not going to go viral because there's no reason to share it.
And then I have one final question.
Okay.
Do you want to buy that hat he was wearing in that video? Because I sure as hell do.
Can you show me the hat? That'll be a yes.
With the little crayon that he used to use. Dude, when I was watching Blue's Clues,
Yeah.
I wanted to get the crayon and notebook that Steve had, dude.
Yeah, I want some baby paprika merch.
And he was so good at drawing stuff on the pad. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump into the next segment here. This one I think is really important. I came across it on the Morning Brew. They have another newsletter called The Sidekick. And I was scrolling through it, and it was a term I had never heard before. And it's called productivity dysmorphia. For those that are familiar with body dysmorphia, it is a mental health issue, an area of concern where people are unable to see reality and acknowledge what they actually look like. And so somebody who struggles from body dysmorphia might look in the mirror and see themselves as much larger or much different than they actually are. And so it causes just a slew of mental health issues and disorders. So productivity dysmorphia, or PD, is something that I think resonates with me and resonates with a lot of folks. And in the Morning Brew, they define it as the intersection of burnout, imposter syndrome, and anxiety. And they also say, which I like, here's how you can beat it or deal with it. Make time to celebrate your wins. Bonus points if it's with people you love. Save some of your written wins, maybe kind words or emails or Slacks. Set reminders for positive affirmations. I think that one's a little dorky. I probably wouldn't do that, but
Can you imagine if you had an alarm that was like,
you're great.
you're sick,
You fucking crushed it.
dude, you're tight.
But what I really like is like making the time to celebrate wins. I don't do that well enough. And it's so important that you be intentional to celebrate with people who are going to make you feel good about that win. So whether that's like an old coworker that you love to call, you love to talk to, whether that's a family member, a current coworker, a friend, have you been able to celebrate any of your wins that you can remember?
Yeah, I have. My mom
Yeah?
is really supportive.
That's
And
awesome.
I think I actually take that for granted because when I talk to a lot of people, they don't always have the best relationship with their parents.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of the reason I'm even here right now is because of my mom. And like to this day, she reminds me like, yo, take a step back. Like think about where we were a decade ago,
Yeah.
or even 3 years ago, or
Yeah.
a couple months ago. Like it's so easy to get stuck in your new problem that you forget about the old ones and you think everything's terrible. And it's like, no, things are pretty sick.
From living in your car,
Yeah, I lived in my car. I was 3 months behind on rent.
not being able to pay rent.
Yeah. There was a
Um,
period when I was living in LA where I literally would go through couch cushions of my friends to find coins so I could eat. And I would have to go to McDonald's to get like the $1 McChicken. And I wouldn't eat 3 or 4 days at a time.
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah. That was
Doesn't-
6 years ago.
That is not a good place to be.
No.
No.
And like
Um,
I didn't even process that memory until just now when I told you that. Like I haven't thought about it in
Yeah.
so long. So it's like, holy shit.
I think about I think it's Chris Rock has a comedy special where he talks about like when you become an adult, you don't he has this like bit where he says like when you become an adult, you don't get thanked for the shit that's like just assumed that and is you're obligated to do as a parent or as an adult. You don't get thanked for that shit. You just have to fucking do it. And that sucks. And like
So you gotta thank yourself.
you really do, man.
Yeah.
And it's important that you thank yourself, I think, in a healthy, productive way. And that can be, for me, that's like, you're gonna, it's like doing such basic white girl things. Like, I'm going to go get myself a pumpkin spice latte to congratulate myself and be proud of myself for recording this episode a second time through and not giving up.
I'm gonna do that too. That's a good idea.
Maybe get some Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like, I used to think that the circumstances around me were just the way they are. Like, I had a bunch of really shitty friends, and because they made me feel bad about myself, like, I didn't even try to do better. So, like, the environment you're in really does determine a lot of things. And it's like, it's not always so easy to just like, oh, change your environment then. There's a lot of like economic factors and things that can put your perspective in place. But I used to just accept my friends and stuff. And I found that when I started seeking out other relationships, like, things started to change everywhere in my life. Like, and for a while you have to be alone, and you have to accept that like you're going to be alone for a minute, but you can find better relationships.
Absolutely. And I think bad relationships can make productivity dysmorphia even worse, right? Like friends that don't really give two shits about your accomplishments. A shout out to one of my best friends, David. When I told him that I got like a promotion in Pandadoc 6 months ago or whatever, he teared up. He was like, I'm so proud of you, and teared up. And I was like, stop, dude. Like, stop. Those are the kinds of people you need to have in your life that are there to celebrate your wins. So
that's life-changing, man. Like, to have somebody like that, it makes your decision-making different. I think it truly changes your life, because if you have friends, if you told them that and they're like, cool, then your entire experience changes.
Yeah. Then you experience the intersection of imposter syndrome, burnout, and anxiety a lot. And it's not a fun place to be.
Yeah, because like as bad as it sounds, external validation is very motivating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, then it's like, oh crap. And that's why you got to thank yourself. But you need a mix of both, because if there's nobody there that cares, then like, why are you even doing it?
We care. If you want to celebrate a recent success with us,
you can find people that care.
Send us a LinkedIn DM. Send me a text message.
Yeah, 100%. My phone number is in 3 of these episodes and on my LinkedIn profile.
Tag me
it's
in
603-312-8758.
There you go. Tag me in the shit that you're creating that you're proud of. I want to celebrate your wins too. This was a fun episode. We love you. I love you, Patrick.
Love you too.
And we'll catch you later.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on the Customer Engagement Lab. For more of Travis and Patrick's chaotic energy, subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast player. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you would make our hearts smile if you left a super quick rating of the show. Just tap the number of stars you think the show deserves. It'll take you 2 seconds, I promise. Until next time.